The spooky season is upon us. Here are the 10 best anime to watch during Halloween. We will start off with perhaps the most popular anime on this list, Tokyo Ghoul. With Ghoul in the name, I can assure you it is an essential anime to watch if you are looking for horror or a supernatural thriller. Tokyo Ghoul is set in a world where humans live in constant fear of ghouls, who are superpowered humanoid beings who feed on the flesh of humans to survive. One day, a shy college student named Ken Kaneki is nearly killed in an attack by one of these monsters. After receiving an organ transplant from the ghoul, he becomes a half ghoul himself. Ken's body begins to change in horrifying ways as he transforms into a human-ghoul hybrid. As he embarks on his new dreadful journey, he clings to his humanity. He is now forced to adapt his new lifestyle while avoiding those who want to exterminate all ghouls from the world. The series is full of flashy violence, frightening villains, and elaborate fight scenes. However, underneath all of these layers is an incredibly inspirational story of a young man fighting his own monsters and inner demons. If you love all things scary and want to immerse yourself in a dark fantasy world, then Tokyo Ghoul is a perfect show for you. It ran for 48 episodes, giving you plenty of content to enjoy. Maybe horror isn't your thing, but don't worry, because the next anime on this list is a dark action comedy for all ages. Soul Eater released in 2008 and ran for 51 episodes. The show takes place at Deathmeister Academy, a school founded by the god of death to train meisters and demon weapons to maintain order in a world full of demons. In this story, Lord Death is not the villain. He serves as the headmaster of the academy and the guardian of mankind. He brings comedic relief to a character commonly known for, well, death and destruction. The series revolves around 3 groups of meisters and their weapons that train at the school. Their goals are to collect 99 souls of evil humans and 1 witch soul to elevate their weapon partner to the most prestigious status of Death Scythe, a weapon powerful enough Death himself would even wield. However, forces outside the academy make it more challenging and lead to the students facing many hardships. Maka, Soul, Death the Kid, and Blackstar are a few of the characters that make this show worth the watch. As they fight alongside each other as the last line of defense against the forces of evil, they learn to cooperate and set their personal grudges aside. Each character is deep and unique, and their development keeps you engaged throughout the show, even when things start to slow down a little bit. If you want a more family-friendly anime without blood and gore, Soul Eater is the show for you. The dark Halloween-themed fictional world is perfect for spooky season, and it reminds me of a Disney movie that I would watch as a kid. This was one of the first anime I watched back in the day and recommend it to most anime fans. Psychological thrillers give us mind-bending stories, and Death Note delivers just that. Light Yagami is a model student, bored with his lifestyle and tired of being surrounded by a society filled with crime and corruption. One day his life takes a decisive turn when he finds a mysterious black notebook entitled Death Note, which bears the following instructions.
How to use it. The human whose name is written in this notebook shall die.
Light was initially skeptical of the authenticity of the book, but changed his mind after successfully testing the notebook on 2 criminals who had died. After using the book, he would meet the real owner of the Death Note, a Shinigami demon named Ryuk. Light decides to use his new power to eradicate evil and become a god, but he would soon be challenged by a mysterious figure simply known as L. Death Note always keeps you on your toes as the story brings many twists and turns. The series has a predominantly dark and moody tone, but Ryuk manages to offer some comedic relief and keeps the show from becoming melodramatic. The fact that he loves apples more than anything in the world is just hilarious to me. Light Yagami is a perfect main character because his motives are erratic, but we can all understand his cause for killing. It makes for a unique and compelling story that we often don't see in anime. I highly recommend giving Death Note a watch if you haven't already. Stay clear of the movies, please. There are 37 episodes of the anime to enjoy. Then, if you want to go through the movies, be my guest. It wouldn't be Halloween without vampires, right? Hellsing Ultimate was released in 2006 and brings us the great and powerful vampire Alucard, who works for Hellsing, a secret organization of monster hunters. The order operates in great secrecy and is in service to the British Crown. In these dark times, vampire activity has been on the rise, and a group long thought to be dead has been plotting in the shadows for over 50 years. Their goal is to bring chaos and plunge the world into war. This show brings crazy and exciting action mixed with the horror genre. Alucard's psychotic smile, cool jacket, and disregard for anything other than his own amusement gives us a badass main character in a dark and violent story. There are no heroes in this anime, only anti-heroes and villains, which makes for action, and more action. There are hardly any shows out there like Hellsing Ultimate, making it a must-watch for horror fans. Everyone loves a good ghost story during Halloween, and Ghost Hunt brings us a supernatural mystery one. Released in 2006, the story revolves around Mai Taniyama, a young girl who enjoys exchanging ghost stories with her friends at school. It is said that an abandoned building on campus was the center of paranormal activity. On her way to class one day, Mai passes the building in question and spots a strange camera inside. It was part of an investigation, and without knowing it, she was interfering in it. Mai broke the camera after being spooked by a person inside the building, while also injuring them in the process. In order to replace the camera and pay for the injuries, she was forcibly hired to work for the investigators. From that point on, she begins to learn about the paranormal world and the profession of ghost hunting. Ghost Hunt brings an unusual way of telling a mystery story while also using a more scientific and realistic way of searching for clues to paranormal activity. There are several different cases throughout the show which are full of twists and turns. Now, let me say this anime might not be for everyone. There is no horror or scary scenes, but if you want a more laid back and suspenseful show to watch during Halloween, this one may be for you. The mixture of horror, thriller, and science fiction is a perfect mashup of genres in my opinion. In 2014, Parasyte debuted and brought us a world of creatures programmed to take over the human brain. One night, attacks began to happen all over the world, and during his sleep, a young man named Shinichi was infected. However, the parasite could not reach his brain, and instead punctured his right hand, merging with it. The two are forced to cohabitate in order to survive and defend themselves against attacks from other parasites. They are able to capitalize off their strange situation and begin to form a strong bond, giving them an edge in battle. This series explores philosophical and psychological questions such as the meaning of humanity and the relationship between other species. The show is certainly dark in several ways, but it carries itself as a horror drama. It has a captivating and emotional story. There are no supernatural powers or secret organizations pulling the strings in the shadows. Parasyte is about the characters and their ability to adapt and survive. Next up on this list, we have Blockade Battlefront. After a breach between Earth and the Netherworld opens up over New York, humans and creatures become trapped in an impenetrable bubble that surrounds the city. They are forced to coexist in a new city known as Salem's Lot, where peace between humanity and creatures is protected by a group of superhumans called Libra. With magic and madness living among each other, craziness is bound to happen. The show has great visuals and an interesting premise and is pretty entertaining. With chaotic fights and comedic relief, this anime is full of monsters that will certainly be fun to watch during Halloween. I couldn't leave out zombies. High School of the Dead is set in modern day Japan when a deadly pandemic strikes the world where humans are turned into zombies. The story follows a group of high school students and the school's nurse as they deal with the outbreak. They must survive the zombie apocalypse while also facing the threats of societal collapse and the decay of all the morals as people start becoming monsters. This show not only brings us zombies, but also the terrifying and accurate attempt at survival for an unlikely group of kids. The tense drama that ensues makes you wonder, what would you do in this situation? And we get to witness how the students react. Of course, the traditional zombie story is present in this anime, just like other shows such as The Walking Dead, but with its own spin on the genre. Fan service is present throughout the show with upskirt shots and women showing off, and while that may deter some of you from watching it, High School of the Dead brings us a show full of buckets of blood and thrilling action that will please fans of the genre. Are you ready for a true horror story? Another begins in a middle school classroom where a haunting begins. In the past, a student had committed suicide and her classmates pretended that she was still alive in order to cope with the death. They unknowingly summoned a malevolent ghost that caused more and more suicides among the student population and their families over the course of decades. In the present day, a popular student has suddenly died, and a young boy begins to poke around the mysteries of these deaths, and that's when people begin to violently die. I don't want to say much more about the story as it is truly unique and a thrilling anime to watch. If you want an anime with a well-written mystery and great characters, please do yourself a favor and watch another.
Don't worry, I didn't forget about you slasher fans out there.
Chainsaw Man follows the story of Denji and his partner Pochita as they take on the dangerous job of devil hunting to pay off the debts left by Denji's late father. One day, the Yakuza turn on Denji, killing him, leaving him to the zombie devil. However, the Chainsaw Devil Pochita replaces himself with Denji's heart, transforming him into the Chainsaw Man. Now, this anime did just come out, so unfortunately you can't binge it, but it is certainly worth putting on your anime list and watching it as they come out. The amount of blood and gore in this show is going to be insane, and probably more than any other anime in recent memory. The comedic relief and action are perfectly balanced with some romance mixed in. I can say this is the anime I am most looking forward to watching over the next several years.
And there you have it, 10 of the best anime to watch during Halloween. Now, there were several different genres on this list, and I didn't just want to make everything horror, everything thriller. I wanted to make sure there was something for each person to watch and hopefully enjoy. If there was anything that I missed out on or other animes that you think I should watch or others should watch during Halloween, make sure to leave it down in the comments section below. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that thumbs up button as it helps spread the video out to other people who can hopefully enjoy it as well. And of course, if you want to see more anime videos in your subscription feed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, guys. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I will see you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day.